What is up, guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. This is going to be the LCS 2021 Summer Split Week 9 recap, and joining me here today for the recap of the LCS 2021 Summer Split Week 9 is Warren. So, the regular portion of the LCS 2021 Summer Split is over. We will now be moving into playoffs. The first round begins this week, starting on Friday. What's the first match? Like, is it it's EG versus Dignitas, right?
I believe I got it right here. The first
Okay.
match is EG Dig, and then I think the next one I see is C9 and TL, which is already that's a that's a banger
That's
first
gonna be a
round if you
banger.
think.
Yeah. So before we start talking about the playoffs starting this week, guys, since 8 teams make the playoffs for the LCS summer splits, actually, whereas in spring it's the usual 6 teams. But if you guys are unfamiliar with the format, so in spring it's the usual 6 teams make playoffs and they have double elim. In summer, it's 2 extra teams added, putting it to 8 teams and also double elim. But it doesn't really matter, though. I know a lot of people like to rag on, like, it's 8 teams. It really doesn't matter, though. Most of those bottom tier teams that are, like, fucking, like, 6th to 8th place, they don't do anything in playoffs anyway. It's honestly, like, why are you even adding in 7th and 8th place teams anyway? And like you said before, it's, like, rewarding bad gameplay. It's like, if you had a daughter or a son and they came home with fucking, like, F grades all the time, and you bought them a new PlayStation 5. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why they just can't do double elim 6 teams like they do in spring. It just feels like you're just adding in these extra teams for more games. And I get it, more games, more league. I mean, we do enjoy that, but the quality of the gameplay of these bottom tier teams is not going to be that good. Now, even in other regions, it wouldn't be good either. Like the bottom tier play coming out of like even an LPL like BLG versus someone like fucking JDG would probably still be fucking dog shit. But at least the quality of the players and what they're doing is better. At least for the LCS standards, if you're getting like lower tier teams to play against each other, it doesn't really matter actually, But to kind of cover the few things that I want to cover, obviously, for this video is we'll talk about the teams right now, then cover a few of their games, actually. So, CLG is done, and FlyQuest is done. We will not be hearing about these organizations for the LCS until the 2021 offseason and moving into the LCS 2022 spring split. So, yeah, Warren, did you want to say anything about CLG as we work our way up,
Nope.
actually? Nope, that's it? Nope.
I said my stuff on the last video. I don't want to waste oxygen right now.
Did you see that video that Broxa put out? Or that tweet he put out, actually?
Why would I care?
Warren, you're heartless. Holy shit.
I'm not a Broxa fan. Why would I care?
So, guys, the last thing I'll say about CLG is they just looked really disappointing. They barely won any games. Like, I heard and watched a little bit of the Travis interview he did with Broxa. Like, I mean, the type of roster that they had should have at least been like where Dignitas is, or at least where INT is at their peak. They could have been at least like 6th place, 7th place. I disagree with people when they say they could have like easily challenged, for like top 4. Like, you're crazy. No. They had barely decent players. Like, the only good players they had were like fucking Broxa and Finn. Like, that's all the only good players they had. Like, they just pretty much tanked their whole season. They had no chemistry, no synergy. Their level of gameplay was just overall trash. Like, they never were on the same page. Their objective control was awful. Same thing going into FlyQuest. Like, FlyQuest had a ton of different roster moves in summer. Licorice left. They brought in Triple. They brought in NXI. Then when they started having a losing streak, they brought back Palafox and Jose Diodo. But previously, they were on a 10-game losing streak with that type of mid-jungle duo, only to bring them back later on to not make playoffs. Like, Triple and NXI weren't winning a ton of games, but that is what turned around FlyQuest's season. So I would assume you would have wanted to keep them in, but FlyQuest ended up tanking their own season. They took out Dreams, they put in Diamond again, and obviously Diamond's not that good. So FlyQuest just thoroughly sabotaged their season by making, I think, too many last-minute roster swaps. CLG just tanked because they just weren't good and a bad team. It's crazy. Like, how many splits has CLG finished near the bottom at the end of the split? outside of that 2019 summer split where they almost made worlds with Ruin and Wiggly, you know? Maybe it's not the players, maybe it's just the environment, but yeah, I'm just not feeling CLG. Like, what is. There's a lot of issues with them, but yeah, we will not be hearing about FlyQuest or CLG until the 2021 offseason after Worlds 2021. Alright, let's go to Golden Guardians. Anything you want to say about Golden Guardians, man?
Um,
A Blaze Olive
they
played pretty
uh
good.
they overperformed.
Hmm.
I think we all, with Niles going, and then we got Solo. We all probably thought that they were going to be the bottom place
Hmm.
team, and then for them to scratch into playoffs, good on them. The org had basically a full NA team outside of I think one. I don't think, do they have any imports right now with the current roster?
I
No,
don't
because
think so.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, because Newbie is in he's
Academy.
in academy.
Hmm.
So
And he needed a lot of improvements. Let's just be honest. He needed to improve on a lot of things. For Golden
right,
Guardians, I think a lot of people are not going to really talk about a Blaze Olive, but a Blaze Olive actually looked pretty solid. Throughout the summer split, I don't know how well that's going to translate in playoffs, but to me, he looked pretty solid. Outside of a Blaze Olive and Licorice, not really much was there. Iconic had a good start, but then fell off massively. Stixay just looked as average as ever. Chime looked okay. Not a bad NA support by any means, but he looked okay. That's pretty much it with them. I don't think they'll be doing much in playoffs. Maybe they might upset a team. I really doubt it though. IMT season was pretty much just like a roller coaster.
yeah, up and down.
Yeah, like 1 week they would go like 3-0, next week 0-3, next week 1-2. They don't have a consistent playstyle. Their biggest shining performer is Xerxes. Revenge has not had a good split. Ray started off pretty strong, but he had a massive drop off. Destiny is actually, I think, the second best player of Immortals. He actually looked pretty good on mostly Hook champions, but that was the meta, so you have to kind of, give him credit for where credit is due. He still played pretty solid overall. And Insanity did not look that good. Like, they have a few good players that separate them from at least Golden Guardians, and which probably might get them in maybe a round ahead of them. But I forgot where the seating is actually, because like there's certain parts where like certain teams don't get another chance, right? There's like in certain parts you're just
Right. So
out.
the losers bracket. So basically, round one,
Hmm.
they get a second chance, and also like so if like they lose, they go basically whoever loses in round one with C9TL, they drop to the IMT game, and
Okay.
if whoever loses between the EG Dig, they drop to that, and that's their second
Okay,
chance, and
I
that's
get
it.
it now. So any team that finishes sixth and above gets to have a second chance. Any team that finishes seventh through eighth is automatically placed in the losers bracket. Okay, okay.
Right.
So looking at that for sure, yeah, I'm not seeing mostly any of these teams do anything between IMT and Golden Guardians. These teams right now, to me, are personally just filler teams to just get knocked around about, if the better team actually does get placed in their losers bracket round with them. Dignitas, I mean, I want to be able to say that they're a decent team, but
Stop
then,
saying that.
but then I realized to
Don't finish that
myself,
sentence, please.
but then I realized to myself,
Stop.
Yasui is so bad that this
Stop it,
team is just such dog
please.
shit.
Why are you doing this?
Warren, help me out. Help me.
First of all, if you pull up the playoffs,
Mhm.
like, it'd be embarrassing.
Which would
You
be.
know, it'd be, which would be like if IMT, Golden Guardians, or one of them make it to the finals. That would show how terrible NA is.
If Dig make the finals, I'll go outside and jump off a bridge and hope a train hits me as I go down. Holy
I'll,
fuck.
I'll make sure to clip this, but it's just like, could you like be let's be serious. Could you imagine if one of these three teams make it to the semifinals?
Dude.
How embarrassing that looks for like all the orgs above.
I was gonna say, like, God himself could come back and Dignitas would still not make the finals.
I think, see, people are saying Team Liquid's bad. I just think Team Liquid is a, like, I don't know. When we get into
Mm,
the rounds, we'll discuss more.
yeah.
So,
But this is
but
my,
yeah,
my my thing. Like, I would want to root for Dig, but dude, Yasui is so trash. Yasui and Fake Out are so trash, dude. Acadian's been consistent, but that's not enough. Like, I know, like, people want to say Acadian's a carry
Who was
jungler.
the mid laner before? I forgot his name.
Saligo.
Yeah, I think so. If Saligo was there, I think they would have been a stable team.
Hmm.
Honestly,
It's just
I don't
that
know. I still don't understand why he was replaced.
it's just like Acadian's consistent, but he's nothing. Acadian has such less carry potential than Dardoch. Dardoch was far in a way the better jungler out of the two, right?
Acadian is a dollar store Xmissy.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Holy fuck. Fake God is bad. Yusui is bad. Neo and Aframu are a solid bot lane, but they don't really win a lot of their 2v2s. A lot of their wins in team fight, yeah, it just comes from team fighting. You know, they don't really win a lot of the 2v2s. They're mostly getting gapped in a lot of their 2v2s. So, yeah, like, with how bad Yusui is and with how bad Fake God is and how inconsistent their bot lane is, this team's not doing anything in playoffs. Now, moving to Team Liquid, they had a ay ay ay. So many inconsistencies with their fucking play. You know, I get it. Santorin came back. You know, but Santorin wasn't really ever good for Team Liquid anyway.
I
Like
mean, they went 2-1 with him though.
this week, let's see who they played. Play against IMT. Okay, that's not bad. That's bad. They should win that. EG, they beat a team on a hot streak and they ended up losing to Cloud9. No, they went 1-2. Remember? They lost to
Wait,
Cloud9, and then they lost to they lost to Cloud9, and they no, you're right, 2-1. They
yeah,
beat
they went 2-1 with.
I'm a crackhead. Yeah, Warren's right. They
That's
went
true.
2-1. They beat beat IMT and knocked around what the hell? Yeah, you're right. They went 2-1, obviously. So the problem here I have with Team Liquid is I don't know. Santorin doesn't really make them better though. I know we've talked about this all year, but he's just really not what they need.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Santorin best career was with TSM and FlyQuest, and with
Hmm.
his health issues, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires.
I just don't see him doing well with Santorin. I just don't. And it's not even just Santorin. Tactical hasn't even looked that good. You know, this split. Core JJ hasn't been like
TL
as
Yankos.
dominant. Oof, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. A C9 Genkos. What are you talking about? That G2 synergy the C9
That'd be
might want to go for.
no. That's like bringing back like a old like you get that's the problem. We're getting these players at the end of their prime. Like
Are you calling
like
them old men? They don't have arms, Warren.
like I don't understand like how a team like I don't know they couldn't throw like some big money at like Nemesis, who was a good mid laner,
Well, he's not
or
gonna
like
want to play for a bottom tier team like that.
yeah, but the thing is, you build up on it. So if you get like a Nemesis,
Hmm.
then like you put, let's say, because I think Niles is actually a good player. I just think that his play style is very aggressive.
Hmm.
Um, like you put a Niles because I think Niles is better than Revenge, but that's
Hmm.
just my opinion.
I thought it was too,
Um,
actually.
you got yourself a
Hmm.
team, and then the thing is, like think about where like let's look at one of these teams like 100 Thieves had a terrible season in 2019, and then they rebuild,
Hmm.
right, and then they got all these players, and look where they are now. Like they're now a namesake team within. It's not like it's TSM C9 TL anymore. It's TSM 100T, and now EG's in the mix because of Danny. So now people
Hmm.
are gonna be like, you know what? I thought I could only go to TSM or Cloud9. Now I got TL. Now I got EG. Now I got 100 Thieves,
Yeah.
because you're building your brand. And you're
Hmm.
slowly getting the right the coaching staff, and all
Hmm.
that stuff. These orgs need to start off with something small. Like,
Dude,
okay,
even TL. Like, remember TL? They even though they bought players, those superstar players, to start winning titles. Remember that? Well, there was no guarantee they were gonna win titles consistently as they did. You know, they
right,
even had a weaker supers team with Pobelter and Olay when they won. You know, but they just
right.
got better players over them, and then at a certain point, you know, they won two more titles. So when it comes to Team Liquid, dude, their mid jungle synergy is terrible. Alfari is good. Alfari came back and was pretty good actually, outside of like that first week he came back. Core JJ and Tactical, like they're a better bot lane than Neo and Aframu, but they haven't also been as good either. Like Core JJ has not looked as dominant. Jensen's looked pretty solid most of the split. So, like, looking at Team Liquid, they're just not that good, honestly. Like, if they beat Cloud9 in this first round, I mean, I'm not surprised because Cloud9 and Team Liquid have been pretty much on the same level the whole split anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean they're
not even.
4-5, so
But the issue with Team Liquid over Cloud9 is that Team Liquid has lost to every single top tier team. They are like 2-12 against the top tier teams. The only wins they got against a top tier team was like Evil Geniuses. That's the crazy thing. So they lost to TSM, they lost to 100 Thieves, they lost to Cloud9, and they also lost to that dog shit Cloud9 roster with King. That's disgusting. So, and you also hear in the squad videos that Team Liquid puts out, they're just not on the same page. There's a ton of issues they have. Like, if they make a run of the finals, I would be fucking surprised. They would, dude, like, just like you said, if Dignitas makes a run to the fucking finals, that this shows you how dog shit this fucking league is. You know what I mean?
it
Like,
shouldn't. I mean, it's technically it shouldn't happen, but like I said, like the thing is when you have momentum, and then remember nobody expected TSM to win the whole thing last year. So
yeah.
like when you have, but I mean again, they were a first round team. They weren't a bottom team because if they started bottom, they would have been eliminated by Golden Guardians.
Yeah, like, they lost a round in playoffs and they came back and won everything, Which I
Right,
think,
right.
even if you want to quantify their win against Team Liquid, they did play pretty okay. I didn't think they were anything good, just to me personally, but they were a solid team that could win an A.
I mean, of course you're not. You're gonna say that because C9 stayed home. It's
Oh,
okay.
I'm just saying that, Team Liquid kind of griefed their series against TSM, though, but it's okay. It's okay, Just throws for free.
You
But
made Worlds last year.
but wait. Who actually got lucky because TL threw a fucking free Baron?
But at TL made Worlds. Who didn't make Worlds?
Cloud9 went to Worlds. They were there in the stands.
you mean digitally at home, watching it at the facility? Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
sure.
wishing they were in the stands. It's different.
There
All
was
right.
no stands.
So for Cloud9, they've been bad. I don't know where some Cloud9 fans are going that they've been good. There was a guy that did his rankings. I like him, pretty cool guy. But I think your rankings are all off, dude, with your all pro teams. This man, he put like perks in the all pro teams. I was like, dude, come on. Come on. He had Fudge in his number one for all pro, and he had like Vulcan as his second best. I'm like, dude, perks
I
should
mean,
not.
a case for Fudge is fine.
Fudge is
That's
fine.
reasonable.
Fudge could be in the top three. That I agree with. Vulcan, debatable. He could be like third, but debatable. Perks, no. That is some pure fanboy shit. Perks has played bad in the regular season, though. I don't care what he's gonna do in playoffs. This is for regular season. You have to vote these all pros on. Abadage, Power of Evil, and Juzuke and Jensen all played better. It's not even debatable. So putting Perks there, if you're a Cloud9 fan, is just fanboying. That is pure fanboying. Come on. That's crazy. The man literally was going like 0-5, 0-10 in some games. You know what I mean? Like, I think Perks has played pretty poorly. I think Zen and Vulcan, they're good at certain moments in the game and certain moments in laning phase, because their laning phase isn't the issue though. It's Ven and Vulcan. They have a clear disconnect in some of the team fights where they're engaging at inopportune times. Blabber has not looked that good unless he's on Olaf. He's been just, his brain has fallen off completely, ran into the fucking street and gotten run over by a fucking Prius or some shit. Fudge has been the best player on Cloud9, but has he been the best top laner? I don't know. I think Impact, Huni have both played better. And Alfari's played better recently too. I think Impact's played way better than Fudge the whole split. To me personally. Oh my god. Warren just hates everything. But it's okay. It's okay.
No, no, no. I just think that, like, I don't know if these coaches are looking at these, like, drafts, but, like, why does Impact get Renekton 5 times out of, like, the season? Like, come on, man. That's just ridiculous. Doesn't make, like, this guy's good on that champion.
He
Ban it.
carried on
Like, what are
other
you doing?
champions too. He had a big impact on other champions too, like, Set, who was also in the meta. Who else did he play a lot too? My god, it was Gwen. He had great games on Gwen, Set. I forget the top lane pool. It's been changing so much recently.
It's been set.
He's
It's
played
been
some. He's
set.
played some
Gwen,
Camille. Has he played Camille?
Nocturne. I
Has he?
don't know. He's not. I
He's not
can
played Camille.
yeah,
No. That
definitely
was
not play.
Alfari. That was Alfari who
He's
played
played.
Camille.
Yeah, Afari's put a lot of GP, Camille,
Mm-hmm.
Kennen. I think a Nara game. Like I just he's not. he's not a. He's just. He's like a better Arome.
For
Like
impact,
that's what.
no. I think this split he substantially stood out as a quote unquote carry top laner, but
He's
is
not a. I'm not gonna.
he carried some of the
As a respectable person,
he carried
I'm gonna
a
say
lot of
hell
the
no to
games this
you.
split. He carried at least this split. He carried quite a bit. He looked much more carry orientated this split than he did on Team Liquid, is what I say. And I think he shined more in doing it than Fudge did. Because there's a lot of games Fudge had where he had the carry pick and he just failed with it. A lot of the carry picks that Impact got, he was able to carry the game with it. But even in terms of like Cloud9, they had so many issues, dude. I'm not even like confident in their playoff ability right now, you know? And I love this team. It's just if TL knocked Cloud9 into the losers bracket, I'm not surprised. Moving on to EG, they really did a good job by how they ended off the split. There was a point in the split they went like fucking 14-2. They were 12-2 at some point. You know, they did a really good job on improving on a lot of the areas that a lot of people gave them flack for. You know, I know a lot of people said that they can't trust Jizuke because he's always going to be a coin flip player. But there was literally weeks of gameplay where he was consistent. So it's shown he can be consistent. It just depends on if he feels like he has to obviously potentially put the team in a winning advantageous position to win, obviously. I personally think Impact has looked good. I personally think that Svenskeren has now looked at, oh god damn. Did you get possessed by the fucking exorcist or some shit? Holy
No,
fuck. God damn. You get
I
stabbed
just
by Michael Myers or something? Holy fuck.
when I hear bullshit, my coughing comes up. I'm sorry.
The coffee you drank this morning, this disgusting New York diners. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
when I hear bullshit, I just have to it's like I gotta get some medicine for it. Sorry, it
So I
happens.
wanted to ask you, dude, do you think they'll play contracts in playoffs actually?
I hope not.
That's a free ticket to being at home digitally.
Like I really hope not. Like I don't mean to be rude, but
They have played contracts.
uh, here's what I mean. I don't mean to be rude.
Mm.
Um, the thing is that Svenskeren is more playoff or experience. Maybe for jungle passing or something, but like in regards to say, um, I
Mhm.
don't know, like a whole thing. I think it's gonna be like a jungle passing thing. Oh, like we'll play him over
Here's
him.
here's what I'll
Exactly.
say. Here's what I'll say.
That's what I think.
If they lose the first, let's just say randomly they get magically upset by Dignitas, like fucking God himself comes out and makes EG lose to Dig, right? Then they go into the losers bracket and they face,
Nah,
you know,
I don't think EG might drop one game at best because maybe it's playoff jitters
yeah,
from Danny, but like the kid's shown that he's not afraid to go up against
he's like one of the best
FBI.
ADCs in the league, actually.
Yeah, to come in half a split, he's probably gonna. I think he's probably gonna get rookie of the split.
I mean, there's not that many rookies. I mean, who's his competition? Yasui. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, but it's
But I think, you
I don't.
know, dude, EG has played really well this split. I think Ignar and Danny have looked great as a 2v2. They've both looked good individually. Outside of Jizuke's minor coin flip games he did at the beginning of this, but he's been really consistent toward the back end. I just don't see a world where they lose to Dignitas. I think they're going to the next round. What do you want to say anything about 100 Thieves actually?
I think that they need to not rely on. They need to get good play out of Impact because if
I mean,
closer
someday.
and yeah, I'm
Just because
sorry.
they're Korean, dude, doesn't mean they're the same, you know?
Sure. I keep thinking that. No, I'm not thinking that. My brain farted. Uh, I, I, th- I think if closer and FBI don't have pop offs, then Sunday needs to really, or
Somebody's had a really
like,
bad split, dude. He's played bad. I'm sorry. He's like the weakest top laner in playoffs so far. Hooney's played
like,
better, Fudge has played better, Implex played better, and Alfari's played better than him.
here's what I don't get. Like, when he had Demonte, it was like, man, Sunday is playing so great. Now the guy gets actual mid laner, and it's like, he's just digress. That doesn't.
Dude,
That's
even
not.
last split, I put him as my third All Pro top laner, but because I thought he did play well. But this split is just undeniably bad. There was games where he was playing Gnar, getting in front of Renekton and getting solo killed as mini Gnar. I was like, dude, this is pathetic. Like, this
Yeah,
is
you're not
crazy.
like yeah, and that's a matchup where you're not supposed to really
He would just
be.
literally straight up walk into a Renekton melee range, get stunned, and get killed by the enemy jungler, and give up top tower turret place for free. Like they by far and away have the weakest top laner in playoffs so far for any of the top tier teams. But do you think that's going to make a big difference though that they have the weakest top laner?
No, because I think they have flexibility in
Hmm.
in their
But you're
draft.
not but you don't think who he's that good though.
No, in regards to support, no, I just don't see it. Like I don't. I think
You
his
think
champion
Vulcan,
pools.
Core JJ, Ignar, and sort of have all just been massively better than him
Yes, yes, like
by far.
yeah,
Dude, I
I,
gotta get that Forgiven meme. I gotta get that shit. Gotta get it.
yeah, yeah. By far, like this. I just
This guy thinks who he is overrated trash.
no, not trash. I think he's serviceable for like. Okay, let's be honest, right?
Mhm.
And I want you to be honest with me.
Okay.
If FBI has Sword Art, Vulcan, or Ignar, do you think anybody would be able to compete with 100 Thieves?
If FBI had the other top three supports in the
Top
league,
like
yeah,
it's instead of like
I
or
think
like
we'd be.
I even think Destiny is better than who he.
Destiny's actually shined a lot. He's played really well this split too.
Like he, I just don't feel like I think. Remember who he made it? Like people forget when the whole, like I know that role swapping and auto
Hmm.
filling has been a thing now with the whole people switching the roles
Yeah,
and
because they
all
can't
like
feel like they can carry in their original roles anymore.
right man.
Hmm.
Remember who he was a mid laner, an NA mid laner because he's native
Yeah,
of NA, but like he's just I just don't
he
I just don't
does
see it.
only like he looks better on set support, right? He looks
Like
really
I'm
good
gonna
on
let me.
Thresh and set support, right? But if you look at him compared to like Sword Art, Vulcan, Ignar, and who's the other person, Core JJ, they look good on just about everything you give them, everything. He looks good on a few champions, but the other support champions he plays, he doesn't look that good on. He looks
Right.
average at best.
I'm gonna.
That's just
I'm
me
like.
personally.
I'm putting up his summer. His summer
Hmm.
stats for not the mid season. So he's played.
Hmm.
He's played Leona, Set, Thresh, and then everything else is his Leona and Set is high. His Thresh is high. Nautilus, but then Braum 0. It's like two. It's well he has his apparently 2 and 0.
Hmm.
Gragas. It's just like I don't know. Like I just it's not that I don't like him. It's just I don't like. You can't tell me that
You just think
if they
there's
could get
better supports than him.
right, like I feel like who he's in the position of like a pole belter. Like he's good, but I wouldn't be surprised if 100T gets like a better support, or they see like someone in like kind of like what Rogue did with Trimby, like, oh, this rookie support is really talented and
Hmm.
is mechanically good, just to replace him because it fits better. Like that's, I think he's serviceable for that team, and I think FBI, or rather, not. I think FBI is covering a lot of his weaknesses.
So let's move on. Oh, so sorry guys. Also, Abadage throughout the split has played pretty well. Closers played pretty well. They have a really strong mid jungle duo. I think.
Yeah, and remember they used to be on Royal Bandits
Hmm.
back in the Turkish league, so they,
You think they have the best mid jungle duo in
I think,
out of the top teams so far?
probably just because they played with each other.
Hmm. That sounds kind
Um,
of hot.
but, yep.
TSM. So yeah, guys, TSM finished 30 and 15. So there was a lot of people that said, "Well, TSM only got this because other teams intentionally sacked their seasons." I mean, TSM can't control that.
guys,
If
guys,
Cloud9 and Team Liquid are like, "We're going to bench our best players," that's not TSM's fault. I'm sorry. Like,
guys,
I know people don't like TSM, but it's not TSM's fault. Cloud9 and Team Liquid intentionally sacked their seasons by benching their best players. I'm just saying.
guys. TSM lost games to teams like
Dig
uh
of all
Dig,
people.
Immortals when they had like leads, like, but they still ended out top. So TSM has their faults. I'm not gonna be bypass that
Well,
they.
remember,
But like,
one of our commenters said TSM played slow. I'm like, they don't play slow. They spend the least time in lane out of all the top tier teams. They literally do barely even lane.
true, they don't. They
That's
don't
a,
spend that
like
much time.
I don't like. Okay, so Huni has stepped up massively this split. Arguably top three
Comeback
material.
player of the year. Comeback player of the year
Yeah,
for sure.
true.
I
Spica
don't know if
has.
there's a. I don't know if there's a award for that, but
Oh, we were supposed to do that word. Remember, most improved player. Remember?
yeah, I think he's the most from spring from the midseason lockdown till now. I think Hooney is the most improved slash comeback player of the year because a lot of people had him written off. And Bjergsen,
Even you said Hanser was gonna come in at some point.
I thought Hanser was gonna come in at some point, but I said Bjergsen is smart in the sense he had Hanser in the wings, so that when you have someone you know that could, and he's played with Hanser before, and I don't think Hanser's a bad top
No, I
laner.
saw his academy
But
games. He's still top tier LCS top laner.
yeah, Hooney stepped up and proved that he's worth whatever. Because I'm sure they're not paying him too. Like he's not making sword art money, but he's definitely making lower than
Hooney's making quite a bit. These guys are rich. They're making a lot of money by far.
he's making lower than Power Evil because I think they wanted Power Evil way. They knew like I honestly I didn't see that coming. By the way, I didn't see PoE joining TSM.
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
think that.
that was crazy. I thought they were gonna get Jensen actually, because Jensen wanted to leave, and I was like, wait, Jensen would just go to another rival team. If Jensen had went to TSM, he'd have played for all the big three orgs. That'd been crazy, actually.
I don't think Jensen would ever want to play for TSM, only because
But
like not because it'd be like it would take away from the history of him playing against them and the rivalry and all that stuff, and
mhm.
it would defeat like it
I don't
wouldn't
think
be a
they care
bad
about that
mark.
shit, dude. I think we care about that shit. I don't think they care about that shit at all, honestly.
Yeah, but like Jensen, I think Team Liquid's facilities and all that they provide them is pretty good, and
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But like Hooney definitely stepped up.
Spica
I think
played great this split. He's looked fantastic.
yeah, like the desk was saying that he's probably MVP of
We know
the.
Warren's gonna suck off all the TSM players to have them at MVP
No, no, I will say that I think he had an MVP
level.
play this year. Like he's
Power of
played.
Evil has
He's
looked great. There's been a few games where he's thrown it, but which mid laner has not thrown games out of Abadage, Jizuke,
also
Perks, and fucking Jensen?
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up POE while you
Mhm.
talk about TSM because there's
Yeah,
something I want.
Lost stepped up a little bit. He's better than what he was last split, and I think that's fine. Like what you're getting with Lost, and I think like you don't want to always have for some teams dynamic too many carries, and I think he's gonna be a serviceable AD carry that'll do his job, which is fine. Sword Art's also looked good, guys. I just don't see it when you're talking bad about Sword Art. This Sword Art hate he gets all the time. I just don't see it personally. I think yeah he
So
dies in certain stupid scenarios, but
Hillisang dies, but people respect him, so I don't get the point.
they're literally almost the exact same player. They're just on different teams. Like
He just like Hillisang and Sword Art.
they're
Okay,
basically
so
two sides of the same coin, but just
well,
Sword
it's
Art
not
gets
even
more flack because he's on TSM. I think that's it.
and he's an NA. And the thing is like I heard a streamer said this. He's like, you either play to win or you play to lose. And then I think I was watching Wicked because I like top lane. He was like, Hillisang goes for plays that he thinks is going to win the game and get them ahead. And I rather have a player like that that's going to take the big plays like than just sit back and wait. And like yes, Sora might die, but he's doing his job.
Remember,
And
you have like
like,
there's less vision now, so face checking and dying is literally par for the course when it comes to all that
but
stuff.
I found Power of Evil. So Summer he played. I'm gonna count the champions. 1, 2, 7,
Let me
8,
get
9, 10, 11. Well, I don't count the Rakan. He played 10 different champions in Summer, and he played Lee. He played Lucian, and he lost twice on Lucian, which is I mean those were throw games. And then but he played the Casio, and he played his
mhm,
Syndra. Like he played his mages, and he even played LeBlanc a few
mhm.
times, and he played Viego. He won twice with Viego, which is not a typical. and he went 1-1 with. What I'm saying is a lot of people kept saying, "Oh, Poe is just a mage player. He played Lee, Lucian, and
Didn't he win
Viego.
most of his games on Viego for like half the split so far?
He's 100 people. He played two games and he won all games as Viego.
People are crazy, man. These people are nuts. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So
Because I
like,
was trying to pull up my rank, my all pro teams for spring for earlier because I want to make sure I pin those messages. That way, I'm kind of being consistent with it because I think I did it for LEC too. I don't know. If I can't find find the rankings that I'll have, I'll just pin them later. But yeah, but when playoffs kicks up, this week actually, we'll do our before we talk about the playoff series themselves when they are actually done throughout this week, we'll have our LCS 2021 summer split all pro teams and MVP and MIP, which is the most improved player actually. And I know I'm gonna try and make it a more consistent thing. I'm pretty sure we did do it. I'm pretty sure we did that last week, didn't we? We did it. We did it for spring. Yeah, I remember that. Even for LEC, actually, we did the teams with T Root. But overall, guys, I think TSM played fine. There's definite holes in their gameplay. No one's saying they're playing perfect. So I don't know where people are assuming we're saying they're playing perfect. I didn't say they're playing
yeah,
perfect. They
they've
have their
just been
flaws.
consistent. They've just been very consistent, and
Mm-hmm.
like that's what you. I thought that's what you wanted from a team, like consistency. Like they
I
play
can't barely hear
they.
what happened.
What I was gonna say was that me and you probably had what TSM third. We didn't see them first place.
I mean,
I don't
third
think
is
any of them.
we still had them top three. They
Yeah,
finished
but not.
first, so about two places
Yeah,
off. It's
but
not too bad.
we didn't. I'm pretty. Even I didn't have them first because I thought that
Yeah.
loss could have been a liability, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt Hooney could have had like could have played poorly some
Mm-hmm.
games, but I just you know why I want TSM to go to Worlds, baby.
And yeah, getting stomped 0-6 speed run to the airport again.
I don't think they'll get speedrun. Honestly, I think they'll win like two games, maybe,
Hey,
but
you never
I don't
know.
think they're gonna get. I don't think they're gonna get speedrun. I think. First of all, you know what's the sad part about this playoffs is
Mm-hmm.
that out of the five teams, two of them aren't making worlds. Like
Yeah,
out of the five top teams, and
that's the big
and you know
spenders though.
that's the
Because we
big
know
spenders.
EG spends big. Like they weren't no cheap spending team.
Yeah, Impact wasn't cheap apparently, even though he's rocking almost 27 years old. He's not cheap. For because I believe TSM wanted to get Impact first over Hooney,
That's true.
but he wanted more money, and Licorice didn't want to. And then so I think Hooney, but I don't know. I think that says a lot about Bjergsen and that even though he's a new coach, he believes in players
Mhm.
and their ability, and he doesn't look at like their past teams. And when you're playing for an organization that you thoroughly like a Fnatic, a G2, a TSM, a Cloud9, you're gonna play better. But when
Mhm.
you're on like
FlyQuest.
FlyQuest or
Mhm.
I hate to say it, but SK, even though SK had a good thing going in, like
They had a good thing
you're
off spring, and then Jez was like, "Let me just tear all this apart,"
no management did that. I want to give management, but anyway, that's another story. So,
Yeah,
but I think
guys.
TSM is good. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's pretty much it for the regular season. I mean, it was definitely a roller coaster of a split. Let's just say that. I mean, when people say things like, "Oh, well, TSM got lucky because Hunter like Cloud9 and TL just sabotaged their splits," that's not TSM's fault. I mean, that's their own fault. They chose to bench
yeah,
Zen.
remember TSM stuck with like give credit to Burek. Like I'm gonna give credit to two organizations and they're separate. Give credit to Astralis, even though they didn't make playoffs,
Hmm.
and give credit to TSM because they stuck with their 5-man roster and didn't make any changes. They stuck with it. They made adjustments. Remember Astralis? I'm using reason I'm using two different regions just to give comparisons. Astralis was terrible, terrible last split. I think they ended up like 4-12,
Hmm.
and then they ended up like 7 and I think it was 7 and 11. it's still better, and they competed much better, and they showed that they got better because they got to gel.
Hmm.
And TSM, they started out, they ended up I think third in the, and then they have first, which is two ranks higher. So
Hmm.
my point is that teams really need to, instead of just, oh, we're gonna switch this player, like I can see where you switch a player like a Danny, or like for instance like Danny for EG and Marcoon and Advian, but you gotta really, you should have been doing your homework to put these players in. Like when you put
Hmm.
like Jose Dioto and Palafox, or you make these changes like King and whatnot, and it's like, well, just try to figure it out as a team. Like I have no problem with roster um uh substitutions or replacements, but make sure that you've done your homework like some of these teams did, is my point.
Hmm. So, like, who would be your front runner for MVP when we pick one, or when you
Uh,
pick your MVP coming up
well,
next
there's
week?
two front runners.
Obviously, it's only TSM related, so you know.
I think there's two front runners. I think if you don't have closer, 100 Thieves is not that good of a team personally.
Hmm.
I think you could agree with that. And
Sure.
I think Jizuke is has been stands out too, because
Oh,
he's been.
I'm looking at my rankings for spring when we did All Pro and we actually implemented MIP. I had Swordart as my second place support actually.
I think Jizuke, because there's been times where I think a lot of people were calling him to get like removed, and he still has been performing. And I think Spica, those are my three choices for MVP. Like, because if you take those three, like Jizuke makes teams have to ban his champion pool, and that's already, and the team plays around Jizuke, right?
Hmm.
And then Closer really facilitates the other lanes, and he's good at his pathing. And same with Spica, like he's multifaceted. So
Hmm.
like I think these three players are really key for these teams.
All right. So let's talk about playoffs. We didn't get a chance to like I guess predict playoffs for the first round a little bit. I don't want to go too much into it because like it's gonna be so
There's not
weird.
really much. It's
Well,
not really
it's not
much.
even that. It's all coin flip
There's,
because we don't even know who's gonna be in these bottom rounds. So we would be guessing. All right, here's what
oh,
I'll say. We'll just talk about these first two ones. So EG
yeah,
versus
this
Dig
over.
3-0. Fuck 3-0.
3-1. I got 3-1. I got
Cloud
3-1.
Nine versus Team
Dick.
Liquid.
I think Dick can get one win. Or we don't know. We see Dick, or like teams.
Did go in the worlds,
I
baby. Yeah, did go in the worlds.
Okay, no. Uh,
Cloud
Cloud
Nine
nine,
versus Team
Cloud
Liquid.
nine, 3-2, Cloud nine.
Yeah, it should be 3-2 Cloud Nine. I think it's gonna be a really close series though. They've both been playing like dog shit. They've been playing bad. Oh, it might be a 3-1
Now,
for TL if they actually bring out some
now,
good drafts.
if they decide not to, if they decide let's change it up and not play around Alfari, and then might change
They
switch it up,
might bring in
you never
Jenkins,
know.
right? They might if they bring in Jenkins, they're fucking finished. Let's just be honest here. If they
No,
bring
they're
in
not gonna.
Jenkins any of the games against Cloud9, they are finished. I think Cloud9
They're
wins 3-2, honestly.
not gonna do that. But
Yep,
that's my
that's pretty much it.
predictions.
That's pretty much it. Also, guys, when we go over the LCS 2021 Summer Split playoffs round, be round one actually. Before that, we will do our LCS 2021 Summer Split All Pro Team MIP and MVP. If anybody doesn't know what MIP is a new award I created. It's basically is the most improved player of the split. Actually, last split I think. Let me look at the Discord messages. Sorry about that, guys. If you see it on screen. The most improved player I had last one was actually Finn because I thought he was actually on a upward trajectory actually. So this split for most improved, I think Hooney's probably got it there. I'm pretty sure, based off like how the split has gone, I'm pretty sure he gets MIP. MVP is going to be a little bit harder because there's some good MVP candidates actually this split. They've all contributed to their team in a very good way actually. But anything else you want to say about before you head out of here? Ashley, you want to have sex? Actually,
Um, no, women are too expensive.
I'm gonna just put a fork in my ass.
You could do that. It's two guys, one fork, I guess.
All right, guys. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy.
Well, what I was gonna say was this has been the split's finally over.
Yeah,
A
it's gonna
lot
be
of
a whole lot,
games.
whole lot easier doing playoffs.
Playoffs is gonna be really crazy. Oh, side note, RNG
Yeah, they're on a
is on a
tear. They're
they're on a
nuts.
9 game win. They are now third place from being. They started their season and they have leveled up. They are literally third place. If you told me like they were 0-5 and they went on a 9 game winning
In
streak
best of threes, not best of
in
ones, this is
best
best
of
of
three,
threes. They're doing this.
right?
They're insane. Like if this
Yeah.
team
So
won worlds this year, I'm not surprised, dude.
like this team has leveled up. They even won a series with Crying. I think Crying must have had like an injury or something,
Mhm.
or I don't, or like they said they even won a series without Crying. Um, like RNG guys, like they've I before there was MSI Blues. I don't know if someone took out the whip or
All right, guys. See you guys later.
Uzi came in with an actual Uzi and he was like
Uzi came
I
out with
was
his
like,
Uzi came off with his shirt on like Bruce Lee and was like, "No land watami mishu."
yeah, he's just like you're not disrespecting my legacy, so
Like,
yeah,
get
I
your
just want
asses
to
and
throw that
start
out there.
playing. He's like, Royal actually never gave up. Some cringe shit like they do in fucking 80s movies. All right, guys.
Right.
See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. We will have our LEC 2021 Summer Split Week 8 recap up in a couple of days because LEC doesn't play this weekend, so there's no rush to get it out. It's going to be up sometime during the weekend, actually, because I want to talk about LEC as well. All right, guys. I'm the Nightwing and Way of Life Esports. Signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. See you guys later. Deuces. We're out this thing, man. Peace. Going to bed. I'm taking a hot ass shower because my wife is ready for some sex.
You going to bed now?
Peace out.